are not the good guys coming to rescue. These are Iranian Houthi rebels. And if you look at their tactics, how they move, helicopter insertion, and it wasn't any ship, right? It's a ship reportedly owned by Israel. It shows you the level of training, sophistication that the Iranians have and are teaching their groups around the Middle East. And we look at the larger map here of the Middle East in terms of what the Iranians have influence over. Obviously, there's Iran. Iraq, where the militias have attacked U.S. troops. Syria, where their militias have attacked U.S. troops. Now we're up to 60 attacks. Obviously, also the Red Sea, where the Houthi rebels attacked one ship. Right here, just here where Yemen and Djibouti meet, this is about 20% of the world's commerce. It's where it goes all the way up through the Suez Canal. The Iranians have the ability to shut that down. And right now, we are in the most dangerous part of the war for the Israelis. There's all this talk about a hostage deal. The Israelis are doing everything they can to delay and stall. Why? Because they have Hamas on the run. They're starting to be able to take care of Hamas's tunnel system, otherwise known as the Gaza Metro. And specifically, they want to be able to deal with the tunnels and Hamas before a ceasefire, and Hamas has a chance to reconstitute and rearm. We're going to get to Al-Shifa Hospital, where one of those major tunnel networks is, in a second, but we want to just show you how large these tunnel networks are. This is video from the Israelis. You can see they explode one bomb, and the entire tunnel system then blows up. These are all secondary explosions, and you can see the exits to the tunnel where the other explosions come out of. Every one of these areas is a place that terrorists can move, Hamas members can move, and then pop out of the buildings. We want to bring in Brigadier General Bob Spalding, former of the National Security Council. Before that, flew B-2 bombers. General, it is good to be with you. Just from the Israeli standpoint here, strategically, they want every hour they can, right, before a ceasefire.
Absolutely, and I think we ought to give it to them, and we ought to support them in that effort, because if they don't clear out Hamas, you know, they're going to be facing this threat in continuance. And you see what Iran is doing is they're seeding the entire region with their resources and their training, and they're, quite frankly, supported by China. Unfortunately, they're also supported by funding that we've been giving them. So we need to give the Israelis time, but more importantly, we need to stop supporting Iran with funding, either through China or the United States.
What do you make of the video of the Houthi rebels landing? I mean, it's not SEAL Team 6, let's be honest, trying to take over a ship. But as I watch, and I mean, I'm not exactly a trained observer, but I'm an observer, these tactics actually don't look all that terrible.
Well, I mean, look, they are landing in a ship out in the middle of the ocean. I don't think that's not the easiest thing to do. That being said, you have a lot of yachts out there where people are landing on yachts. So you can find the skills, you can find the people to do these things. I think the more important thing is how much money was spent to be able to do this. If they have access to resources, meaning money, then they can carry out attacks like this. And rather than, you know, focus on cutting off the funding to Iran to support this, we're giving them more money. And then, of course, as I said, we're partnering with China. Just had Xi Jinping come to San Francisco, you know, a bunch of handshakes, but he's giving them money too. So this is a big problem for us.
Well, there's money, then there's also expertise. We've talked a lot about the tunnel system, right? So this is Gaza. The Israelis sort of have this area under control. They have this area under control. We'll draw that here in a second just in blue so people sort of get an idea of where the Israelis have operational control over Gaza, here, and here. Al-Shifa Hospital has been the big thing that we've been talking about. The Israelis now have released video. It's pretty wild what they have going down into one of the tunnel systems, but you can see it's some kind of drone, it looks like, going down into the tunnels. You talk about money and expertise. You don't learn how to do this and build these kinds of things in high school. As you're watching this video, I'm just wondering, sort of take us through as you're seeing what the Israelis are going to face as they're trying to clear out the tunnel system.
Well, I mean, first of all, the engineering that goes into ensuring these things don't collapse is quite extensive. And so I would want to know, you know, where is that engineering expertise coming from? Again, the funding for all the cement and other stuff that goes in there to structurally keep that thing going up. But more importantly, you know, just from a clearing the tunnel's perspective, this is bad, hard, tough work. And I like the idea that you showed earlier of taking the tunnel out using explosives, because then you can collapse it from within. So, but going down there trying to get out hostages is probably one of the things that they're trying to do, and that's not easy work.
Yeah, no, we will show the explosions that you were talking about one more time, which is sometimes it's coming from the air. Other times, I think they're putting charges into some of the tunnel openings. But as you watch this, it shows the extensive nature of the network. The flip side of that is, if there's hostages underground there, they die with the terrorists.
Absolutely, and that's why I think they're trying to rely. You just showed drone video. They're trying to rely on intelligence to tell them where the hostages are. So I would imagine if they're detonating weapons inside tunnels, they've already cleared that area.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.